The story begins with a legendary flute that holds extraordinary powers. It can control the world, open portals to parallel universes, and even bend time. In 1994, this flute was with the king of the Kingdom of Korea, but the king's stepbrother, Liam, desired it for himself. One night, Liam stormed the palace with his soldiers, killed the king, and tried to take the flute. At that moment, the king's 8-year-old son, Leon, arrived, drawn by the sound of the flute. Shocked by his father's death, the boy bravely attacked Liam with a sword, accidentally splitting the flute into two. Furious, Liam ordered the guards to seize Leon, but they had already sided with him. Surrounded, the young prince was nearly killed until a masked man appeared, saving him and driving Liam away. Liam escaped with one half of the flute, while the other half remained with the injured Leon. While fleeing, Liam stumbled into a bamboo forest where the flute opened a portal. He crossed it and found himself in the Republic of Korea, a modern world divided into North and South Korea. To his shock, he encountered a man who looked just like the king, his stepbrother in this world, but here he was crippled since birth. Realizing this was the parallel world he had read about, Liam killed the king's look-alike, his own double, and even the crippled version of himself. He soon understood that everyone from his world had counterparts here, but with very different lives. Meanwhile, back in the Kingdom of Korea, Leon was crowned king at just 8 years old after his father's funeral. To hide his tracks, Liam dumped his lookalike's body on a beach in the kingdom, making it seem as though he was dead. In his grief, young King Leon often cried, but a boy named Jo Young, who claimed his father was friends with the late king, stayed by his side. At first, Leon was annoyed, but when Jo Young broke down crying with him, Leon handed him a sword and declared, "From today, you are my unbreakable sword." From then on, their loyal friendship began. Meanwhile, Liam moved freely between the two worlds, bringing his followers from the kingdom into the Republic of Korea. 25 years later, King Leon had grown into a strong and wise ruler. His loyal friend Jo Young had become captain of the royal guards. Before heading out for horse riding, Leon caught his nanny hiding protective charms in his room to help him find a good bride. Annoyed, he threw them away, reminding her that he had no interest in marriage. Still, she continued placing charms secretly, hoping he would change his mind. After riding, Prime Minister Koo came to meet him. She often got too close during her reports, causing rumors of romance to spread, though Leon dismissed them. His only focus remained his duties as king, not marriage. Later, during a public competition, Leon won first place, and the crowd cheered for him. But in the midst of the celebration, chaos erupted. A girl in a rabbit hoodie was chased by thugs through the crowd. When one of the thugs fired a gun, panic spread. The soldiers quickly surrounded the attackers, and Jo Young stepped in to protect the king once again, while the mysterious girl's presence caught everyone's attention. Leon spots the girl in the rabbit hoodie and quickly chases after her, but she slips away. Moments later, Jo Young finds him and asks why he ran off. Leon explains that the mysterious figure reminded him of the masked man who saved his life 25 years ago. Back at the palace, Leon shows Jo Young the ID card he has kept all these years belonging to Lieutenant Young Tall of Seoul Police. The issue date on the card is November 11, 2019, even though the current date is only September 10, 2019, leaving Leon puzzled. Meanwhile, in the Republic of Korea, Tall is seen taking down criminals with her partner Shinji. When Leon once again spots the hooded figure, he follows and ends up at the bamboo forest. Because he carries half of the flute, a portal opens and pulls him into the Republic of Korea. Time momentarily freezes, which even Liam notices. In the city, Tall sees Leon appear on horseback, shocking everyone. She orders him off the road, but Leon approaches, recognizes her badge, and hugs her, claiming he finally found her. Confused and annoyed, Tall pushes him away and arrests him for disrupting traffic and touching an officer. At the police station, Tall questions Leon. He refuses to give a proper name, calling himself the king of the Kingdom of Korea. Thinking he's delusional, She mocks him and writes his name down as Cartoon. She confiscates his belongings and locks him up. Leon, unused to such treatment, demands a chair instead of sitting on the floor, but she ignores him. Soon, Tall's colleague Yun Sup arrives, who looks exactly like Jo Young from Leon's world. Leon calls out to him in shock, but Yun Sup laughs it off and leaves. Later, Tall learns from forensics that Leon's fingerprints don't match any record in Korea, raising suspicions about his identity. Tall decides to run a DNA test and collects his saliva, while Leon insists he isn't from her world. He explains how he got her ID card 25 years earlier, but Tall suspects he might be a spy. Leon clarifies that Yun Sup is actually Jo Young's counterpart in his world, which makes Tall briefly consider the idea of parallel worlds. Taking advantage of his storytelling, she secretly sends his sample for testing. After being released, Leon confidently gives Tall the address of a luxury hotel, claiming he will stay there. She teases him about money, but Leon pulls a diamond button off his coat, saying he can sell it. Tall mocks him, but at the jewelry shop she is stunned to discover it's real and extremely valuable. Embarrassed, she questions him again, but Leon insists the diamonds were sewn onto his clothes by his nanny. Outside, Leon marvels at a tall skyscraper and compares it with the many such buildings in his own world. Tall, still skeptical, prepares to leave, but Leon stops her, saying he's waited 25 years to find her and doesn't want to let go so soon. Before she can respond, Tall gets a call from Shinji. Tall gets a call about a case and leaves, while Leon keeps watching her go. He asks Yun Sup for childhood photos and sees one that looks exactly like Jo Young from his world. That confirms to Leon that Yun Sup is Jo Young's counterpart and that this place truly is a parallel world. Yun Sup is spooked when Tall sends a blunt message after finding Leon's note. He'd left his horse Maximus in Yun Sup's big yard and asked him to look after it. Tall, angry about unexpected animals on other people's property, storms to Leon's hotel to confront him. She doesn't know his name, so she describes him at the reception and demands his room number. When the staff refuse, she slips a note to be delivered. "Come down or I'll sell your horse." Leon rushes down and explains he left Maximus there because he needed a safe place. He promises to feed and bathe the horse and says he'll leave the city soon. Tall agrees to keep Maximus only until Leon's DNA results arrive. She gives a strict time limit of 40 hours. Leon teases her about her tied hair, and she warns him not to get clever. After that, Leon keeps calling Tall, asking simple questions about food and customs as he wanders the city. Her patience wears thin because he keeps bothering her while she's trying to work. Meanwhile, Liam is growing stronger in the other world. He's building a huge army and has kept a woman who looks like Leon's mother alive, planning to use her later. At Tall's place, Maximus refuses carrots from her hand and scares her. She calls Leon, who's in the library reading the history of this world. When Tall finds him, some local girls gossip and assume she's Leon's girlfriend. To avoid the crowd, she takes him to a restaurant. Leon refuses to eat at first, worried food might be poisoned in this world, and says his words now could be his last. After thanking Tall for helping him, he finally tastes the food and loves it. Leon tells Tall about his country's history, but she thinks it's a made-up story, novel material, not reality. Still, she helps because it's her job to assist anyone in need. Leon asks why she helps if she doesn't believe him, and she replies she's just doing her duty. In the Kingdom of Korea, Jo Young is desperately searching for Leon too. Back in his room, Leon finds the diamonds sewn on his coat have been stolen. Low on money, he goes to a cafe and waits. Detective Shinji spots him and remembers the recent arrest. He warns Leon not to show up again. Tall, pulled between duty and curiosity, cancels dinner plans with Shinji and goes to Leon instead. Leon pleads that he only knows Tall in this world and begs her not to leave him. Tall grows impatient and reminds him that November 11th, 2019, the date printed on the ID Leon showed her hasn't even arrived yet. Frustrated, she tells him to stop with the nonsense and go home where his family might be worried. Leon tells Tal he has no family in this world and is still single. When she teases him about mentioning that, he suddenly declares he has made an important decision. He accepts her as his wife, the Queen of the Kingdom of Korea. Tal is stunned and thinks he's joking, but Leon insists he is serious. Irritated, she challenges him to prove his words and asks to see his world. They go to the bamboo forest, but without the flute piece, the portal does not open. Tal scolds him for wasting her time and walks away, while Leon gently puts his coat on her shoulders. Later, Tal learns that Leon's DNA doesn't match any missing person, leaving his identity a mystery. Surprised, she visits his hotel, and over drinks, she presses him again for the truth. Leon repeats that he came from the Kingdom of Korea, but she struggles to believe. To her, his stories of parallel worlds sound like fantasy. Still, Leon reminds her that neither fingerprints nor DNA could prove he belonged to this world. She remains doubtful but listens as he shares more about his homeland. That night, Leon stays close to his horse, but during a thunderstorm he suddenly suffers sharp pain in his back, something unexplained for now. The next day, Tal's car breaks down, and when she calls home, Leon answers the phone because he was there visiting the horse. He rushes to help her, but as he approaches, time suddenly freezes. Only Leon is able to move. He walks up to Tal and watches her silently until time restarts. Tal, frightened, brushes off his words about time stopping, saying it makes no sense. She leaves him there, focused on her investigation. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Korea, Liam uses his half of the flute to open the portal and sneaks into the palace's secret network of spies. He learns Leon is no longer there, confirming to Leon later that Liam is still alive and traveling between worlds. Preparing for battle, Liam begins raising an army. Back in the Republic, Tal's team faces violent thugs during a case. Leon suddenly appears and defeats them all single-handedly. When Tal asks how he found them, he replies that he was returning her car at the police station and heard where they were. Relieved, she joins him and Shinji for lunch, where Leon hints he wants to spend more time with her. Leon tells Tal that he's returning to his world today and wanted to spend a little time with her. She replies that he finally remembered his home. Leon explains he never forgot, he just didn't want to leave yet. When he says he only came to say goodbye, Tal coldly wishes him farewell and walks away. That evening, Leon goes to the bamboo forest with the flute piece. This time the portal opens, and he crosses back to his world. The moment he travels, time freezes in Tal's world, which Liam notices. Realizing Leon has returned, Liam immediately senses his movement. In the Kingdom of Korea, word spreads that the king was seen near the forest, and Jo Young rushes to find him. The Prime Minister also storms into the palace, furious that the king left without permission. Though the nanny tries to block her, she barges in, scolding Leon harshly before leaving. Upset, the nanny scolds Leon too, but he calms her down gently. Days pass, and Tal doesn't see Leon. She wonders if he truly went back to his world. Meanwhile, Leon resumes his royal duties and later visits his Uncle Bone, who once handled Liam's biopsy report 25 years ago. After looking at the file, Leon hints at knowing the truth but keeps it to himself. In the city, Tal keeps thinking about Leon. One day, after leaving the library, a boy crashes into her bike and her ID card falls into a hole. Later, she gets shocking results. Leon's notes matched real band notes exactly, as if they were printed by a mint. Suspicious, she checks CCTV footage and sees Leon riding toward the bamboo forest the night he said goodbye and never coming back. Shocked, she visits the forest, questioning if he really crossed over. In Korea, Leon longs for Tal but is tightly guarded by Jo Young. One day, as Jo Young speaks with him, time suddenly stops again. When it resumes, Leon admits this is the second time it has happened. Jo Young brushes it off, saying Leon needs medical help. Leon tries to explain about the parallel world where Jo Young's lookalike, Yun Sup, lives along with Detective Tall. But Joe Young refuses to believe and insists on telling the nanny. Leon begs him not to. Meanwhile, Tall applies for a new ID card after losing hers, but she still thinks of Leon often. In the palace, strange marks glow on Leon's body during a storm, and he collapses in pain. Alarmed, Joe Young calls the royal doctor, but Leon leaves quietly with his stick and jacket. Soon after, Tall receives her new ID card dated November 11th, 2019, the same date Leon once mentioned. Shocked, she suddenly gets a call from Leon, asking her to come over. When she sees him again, she demands answers. Leon reminds her he already told her he came from another world. To prove it, he accurately describes her ID photo, a blue dress and tied hair. Stunned, Tall finally listens. Leon offers to take her to his world to see the truth herself. Together, they ride horseback to the bamboo forest, where massive stone pillars rise, and the portal opens. Crossing through, Tall and Leon enter the Kingdom of Korea. On the other side, Joe Young and the royal guards arrive, stunned to see their king bringing a woman. Tall is equally shocked when she recognizes Joe Young's face. It looks exactly like Yun Sup's. Leon explains that here he is king, and no one can call him by his true name, Leon. The nanny, hearing the king returned with a girl, orders Joe Young to escort him secretly by sea and erase all related CCTV footage to keep the matter hidden. Meanwhile, Tall struggles to process everything. She remembers the eerie moment they crossed the empty, silent space where time itself stood still. She realizes she has truly stepped into another world. Tall asks Leon if this strange place is another dimension. Leon admits he can't explain it scientifically, but says it's a passage connecting their worlds, where 1 minute here equals thousands of minutes outside. Shocked, Tall follows him to the palace, but notices her phone has no network. Leon tells her this proves his words, though Tall can barely process it. Curious, she examines Joe Young's gun and even points it at Leon, causing the guards to raise their weapons. Leon warns her not to act recklessly. His men will protect him at all costs. Finally, she hands the gun back. Recognizing her, Joe Young calls her Lieutenant Jang Tall, which leaves her stunned. The two later arrive at the palace by boat. The court lady is furious with Leon for bringing a stranger, and when she sees Tall's ID card, she also seems to recognize her. Shocked, Tall asks how they know her, but the court lady avoids answering and locks her in a study. A young woman named Sunny is sent to watch over her. Tall is surprised to see that Sunny looks just like her childhood friend Nari, just as Joe Young looks like Yun Sup. Sunny gives her tea to help her sleep, explaining she must stay alert and watch Tall. But Tall, restless to learn more, asks for a phone, laptop, or even wine. Soon, Joe Young arrives to take Tall's fingerprints, suspecting her involvement in the strange marks on Leon's body. Tall denies knowing anything, telling him to question his king instead. Before he can press further, Leon interrupts with food for Tall and promises to explain later. Still feeling trapped, Tall questions if he plans to keep her locked up. Leon insists the court only fears for his safety since he brought her without permission. When Tall hesitates to eat, worrying it may be poisoned, Leon teases her, reminding her that in his world, disrespecting the king could cost a head. Nervously, Tall eats the food. That night, the court lady arranges a separate room for Tall. But Leon sneaks in through the window, carrying coke because he knows she won't sleep. He tells her not to misunderstand, he just didn't want her to feel alone. Tall demands to see the ID card he claims to have of her, but Leon says he'll show it tomorrow, warning she might want to leave immediately after seeing it. Their banter continues until Leon leans on her shoulder. Embarrassed, Tall pushes him away, afraid the cameras might capture something. Leon gently teases her about dating, then suddenly kisses her, saying she's his first date. Tall is left shocked. The next morning, Leon brings her a royal guard's uniform, telling her to wear it so she can move freely without being locked in the palace room again. Leon tells Tall he'll be busy the whole day, But this way they can still spend time together, so she should change quickly before the court lady finds out. But the court lady is already inside, overhearing everything. Instead of stopping him, she simply warns Leon to be careful so no one takes their picture together. Leon heads out for work with Tall disguised as a royal guard. His schedule is packed: first a basketball game, then a university lecture, and later another city visit. He asks Jo Young to arrange some casual clothes and even gives Tall local money so she can explore the city. Leon reminds Jo Young to keep an eye on her, just in case. Meanwhile, we learn more about Liam's tricks. He has been swapping people between worlds. If someone was killed in one world, their double from the other world replaced them, all secretly working for him. While wandering in a mall, Tall is spotted by thugs who once chased the girl in the rabbit hoodie, Luna. They mistake Tall for her and try to go after her, but Jo Young steps in, protecting Tall and sending them away. Still curious, Tall visits the police station hoping to find Shin's lookalike, but no such officer exists. She even checks his house, but there's no trace of him. Later, she tries to catch a metro to Busan, but she doesn't have enough money for the ticket, and no buses are running. Stranded, she notices a number on her Royal Guard ID and calls the Leon Royal Court, insisting she's the king's friend. The guards dismiss it as a prank, but Tall keeps calling. Finally, out of desperation, she claims, "Tell your king Princess Diana is stuck in Seoul." Her repeated calls reach Leon, who is flying in his private helicopter. Shocked by the name, he immediately orders the helicopter towards Seoul's metro station. While Tall waits, Jo Young also arrives, already aware Leon is on his way. News of the king's sudden landing spreads, reaching the prime minister, who hurries there too. Leon emerges with his guards and scolds Tall for coming so far. He then asks why she was looking for someone named Bong Hoi. Embarrassed, Tall admits Bong Hoi was her mother's name. She died when Tall was very young. Since Leon once told her she didn't exist in this world, she thought maybe her mother's double might be alive here. Sadly, she wasn't. Leon then teases her, saying she had even searched for his ex-girlfriend on his phone, making Tall flustered. At that moment, the Prime Minister arrives, surprised to see Leon with a girl at night. She politely shakes Tall's hand, but Leon quickly cuts the conversation short, saying it's late and they should leave. Suspicious of their closeness, the Prime Minister begins doubting their relationship. On the way back to the palace, Leon and Tall secretly exchange questions and answers by writing on each other's hands, leaving the secretary stunned because she remembered gossip from before, when Leon had been linked to the Prime Minister herself. Leon once told Tall not to worry, saying he didn't like the Prime Minister anyway. Instead, he liked someone far more beautiful, Tall herself. When he revealed this to his secretary, she was relieved, thinking now even the court lady wouldn't have to worry about Leon anymore. Back at the palace, Leon took Tall straight to the kitchen, saying it was only a matter of time before everyone knew about her. Since she had only eaten a sandwich all day, he decided to cook for her. Tall teased him, asking if he had purposely given her less money so she couldn't wander far. Leon admitted it, saying he didn't want her to face any trouble. Tall then reflected that roaming around had shown her how lonely Leon must have been in her world. She confessed loneliness was frustrating because no one would believe her story even if she told them. Leon touched his forehead to hers and gently reminded her, "I'm here, aren't I?" Shy, Tall tried to change the subject by praising his cooking. Leon admitted the court lady had taught him. As they ate, she mentioned what she'd read about his father and Liam, and when her eyes fell on the scar on his neck, Leon revealed how it came from the flute attack 25 years ago. Feeling guilty for him, Tall listened quietly until Leon broke the tension by joking. "After hearing all this, shouldn't you at least give me a hug?" she smiled. Soon after, Tall asked to see her old ID card, the one he had found years ago. She also reminded him she would have to return to her world. This saddened Leon, who thought to himself that he never wanted her to leave, though he didn't say it aloud. During dinner, he finally admitted, "I don't want to let you go." Meanwhile, Jo Young discovered more about Tall's lookalike, Luna, who had many complaints filed against her. This made him suspect Tall could actually be Luna. Later, Leon showed Tall the ID card. Shocked, she asked how he had it when it was only issued days ago in her world. Leon explained he received it from a mysterious man 25 years ago, the very thing that tied everything together. At that moment, Jo Young informed Leon of an emergency meeting. Japan was preparing to attack the kingdom, so Leon told Tall she might have to return sooner than planned. The court lady went to fetch Tall's belongings, but her ID card was missing. Though she checked the palace records, she could only find that Jo Young had turned off the cameras that day, leaving the thief unknown. She brought the rest of the things to Leon, who was now in his Navy uniform, preparing for war. When told about the missing ID, Leon only said everything was strangely connected, finding Tall's ID 25 years ago, and now losing the real one. Before leaving, Leon asked to speak to Tall alone. Seeing him in uniform, she asked if he was really in the Navy. Leon told her he was now commander-in-chief of the kingdom. He gave her the ID card, saying perhaps it was always meant to return to her. When Tall asked if he would come back safely, Leon promised he would if she promised to wait. She agreed. Hearing her call him Leon for the first time, he smiled and said from now on, only she was allowed to say his name. Soon after, Leon dropped Tall back in the Republic of Korea. She hugged her father tightly, happy to be home but already missing Leon. As days passed, she thought of him often. She planted the flower seeds he had given her, even though he once said they couldn't grow between worlds. "How will we know unless we try?" she had told him. Later, while investigating a murder case, Tall remembered Leon's kiss and grew restless. Trying to distract herself, she focused on evidence from the scene. A phone recording revealed someone calling Prince Pong his father and King Haeng his grandfather. Shocked, Tall realized these names were tied to Leon's world, Pong being his uncle and Haeng his grandfather. The connection left her stunned. Back at the palace, Leon missed her just as much, cherishing the rubber band she had left behind. The court lady reminded him that Tall's ID was still missing, but she promised she would track down the thief. Leon thanked the court lady for always protecting him since childhood, even hiding the magical flute piece inside a stick. She replied it was simply her duty, though when they found Liam's body 25 years ago, the flute piece was missing, likely lost in the sea. At the same time, Jo Young discovered that Tall's fingerprints didn't match anyone in their country, shocking him. He secretly asked the police to dig deeper into Luna's case. The next day, Prince Po Yang finally confessed to Leon. The body found years ago wasn't Liam's real one. During the autopsy, he had realized the corpse was crippled from birth, yet its fingerprints and blood matched Liam. To protect the kingdom's future, he reported it as Liam's death, but now he admitted the truth: Liam was still alive. Leon then understood that Liam had killed his father for the flute and would return for the other half. Later, when Tall returned home, she found Leon waiting outside. Overwhelmed, she rushed into his arms, while Leon secretly worried that if Liam was alive, Tall's life was also in danger. Meanwhile, Liam already had photos of everyone close to Leon, from Bo Yang, Jo Young, and the Prime Minister to Tall, Shin, and Nari, marking them as his next targets. The story then shifted to what happened before Leon came to the Republic of Korea. After finishing his royal duties, Leon tried to slip away to the bamboo forest with his horse. But Jo Young was already waiting, knowing Leon would attempt to escape. He confronted him, saying the woman Leon trusted was not Tall but her lookalike Luna, a criminal wanted for theft and fraud. Leon was shaken, asking if that meant Tall's double truly existed in their world. Jo Young insisted it was Luna and demanded Leon either take him along or kill him. Leon agreed to bring him, since he had already arranged for Jo Young's absence at the court. Carrying the flute stick, Leon opened a portal to the other world, leaving Jo Young stunned. Meanwhile, in the Republic of Korea, Liam met with a wealthy businessman. Suddenly, time froze. He instantly realized Leon had crossed into this world again. At the same time, Tall was working at the police station when she stumbled upon the cartoon sketch she once made for Leon, making her miss him even more. Later, she went home and found Leon standing outside. Overcome with emotion, she hugged him tightly, relieved he had survived the war with Japan. Leon smiled, admitting he feared she wouldn't want to see him again. Leon then took her to a place he had rented, where Jo Young was waiting. Tall mistook him for Yun Sup and was confused by his unusual clothes, even asking about his twin. Suspicious, she turned to Leon, who explained he had no choice but to bring Jo Young, otherwise he would have stopped him from coming. Just then, the real Yun Sup arrived. Seeing each other, he and Jo Young were stunned. Yun was so shocked he fainted. When Tall revived him, Yun gasped, "I just saw someone who looks exactly like me." The two stared at each other in disbelief, demanding to know who the other was. Tall explained Leon and Jo Young had come from a parallel world. Yun joked that he never realized he could be this handsome. Jo Young asked if no one ever called him handsome, but Yun admitted no one had. Stunned, Yun began to accept that the king's story about another world was true. Tall then suggested they go to Yun's house since he lived alone with his siblings. Once there, Jo Young inspected the place carefully, but Yun spoke casually to Leon, even using informal language. Outraged, Jo Young pointed a gun at him, warning, "How dare you speak so rudely to the king?" Tall arrives just in time to calm Leon and the others. She makes them sit down, explains the situation, and forbids them from going out together. This sparks an argument, but Leon steps in, telling them to stay while he goes to dinner with Tall. Their outing feels like a date. Tall even gives Leon a phone with all his contacts saved. Leon admits he missed her, and she softly replies she missed him too. Holding her hand, he enjoys their meal, after which Tall takes him to a game stall. Showing off her sharp shooting skills, she wins a giant toy, leaving Leon in awe. On their way back, she plays him a voice recording that shocks Leon. It's connected to the Kingdom of Korea. Realizing both worlds are overlapping, Leon warns her to stay away, but Tall insists it's her case. He finally tells her about his enemy who can travel between worlds and may now be nearly 70 years old. She wonders if she too has a lookalike in his world, but Leon hides the truth about Luna for now. The next day, Tall uncovers information about the lookalike, while Leon makes plans with Jo Young to fight this enemy. Suddenly, time freezes again. Leon realizes it's Liam crossing between worlds, but longer this time. To convince Jo Young, he leaves a secret note in his pocket that proves the truth. Meanwhile, Liam finds Tall's stolen ID at his secret bookstore. A spy informs him that her lookalike, Luna, is a criminal in his world. Seeing her as Leon's weakness, Liam orders his men to find Luna. Back in this world, Leon takes Jo Young out in disguise. They bump into old thugs, but Jo Young doesn't want to fight, so Leon battles alone until the real Jo Young shows up and defeats them. Police mistake him for Yun, known as a coward, and are shocked by his bravery. Playing along, Jo Young pretends to be Yun and avoids suspicion. Later, Leon scolds him for being rude, but forgives him with playful banter, even marking his cheek with a fake punishment. Just then, Tall calls Leon, asking him to meet outside the hotel in 10 minutes. As Leon is about to speak, Tall suddenly asks if he would still have fallen in love with her had she not helped him when he first arrived. Leon smiles and says he would have come to understand her and, sooner or later, fallen for her anyway. She then teases, asking if he'd love her even if she had been harsh toward him. Leon replies she has already been plenty rude, but his answer remains the same: he'd still love her. Curious, Leon asks why she's suddenly questioning this. Tall explains these are the kind of conversations people usually have before dating, but since they never had that moment, she wanted to ask now. Before leaving for work, she confesses, "I love you." Hearing this for the first time, Leon is surprised but deeply moved and replies with joy, "I love you too." Meanwhile, it is revealed that Shinji is actually from the Kingdom of Korea, though he doesn't know it. His biological mother is a spy secretly working for Liam. How Shinji ended up in the Republic of Korea and why his mother serves Liam will be uncovered later. Soon after, Leon takes Jo Young out for dinner. The restaurant owner, startled at the sight of him, accidentally addresses Leon as Your Majesty before quickly covering it up. Realizing the man is from the Kingdom of Korea, Leon instructs Jo Young to discreetly follow him. Jo Young captures the man, and Leon finds a 2G burner phone on him untraceable and only able to receive calls. Though the man refuses to speak, Leon realizes he was among the traitors who sided with Liam the night his father was murdered. Leon orders Jo Young to take him back to the kingdom for judgment. Later, Leon rewards Nari with a turtle-shaped gold bar for renting him a building. Not long after, Tall meets Leon again. She shares details from her recent cases and hands him Liam's autopsy report, revealing she found his look-alike. Out of his family, only the mother, Jong Ha, remains alive. Leon reflects that Liam killed his own double, then Leon's, and even his father's, but left the mother alive, something that troubles him deeply. Tall suggests he meet this woman, thinking it might comfort him, but Leon warns they must be cautious. If Liam spared her, there may be a reason, perhaps she is connected to him. He assures Tall he knows she isn't truly his mother, only someone who shares her face. From there, Leon goes to Yunsup and declares that he will now be his unbreakable sword. Leon then notices Yun wearing Jo Young's coat and tells him he has an important task. Excited, Yun agrees. Later, at the police station, Yun discovers Jo Young's phone in the coat, which holds a photo of Jo Young and Leon. Shinji sees the picture, recognizes the crest on Leon's uniform from his recurring dreams of a crying child, and takes the phone from Yun. Using Leon's hotel card, Shinji sneaks into his room, finding Leon's coat, his phone, and Liam's biopsy report marked with the same royal crest. Realization strikes. The crying child from his dreams may be Leon. At that moment, Jo Young enters, and in the dark, the two fight until the curtains fly open. Seeing Jo Young, Shinji is shocked he isn't Yun after all. Just then Leon arrives and switches on the light. Jo Young aims his gun at Shinji, explaining he was searching through Leon's belongings. When Shinji demands to know the meaning of the crest, Leon calmly answers that it is the royal symbol of another world, where he is king. Nervous, Shinji asks if the crying child is really King Leon. Stunned, Leon asks if Tall was the one who told him about his true identity. Shinji, still shaken, asks if Tall knows the truth. Leon wonders why she hasn't told him anything, but Shinji nervously presses, "Are you really King Leon?" Leon realizes Shinji must have seen his childhood tears, proving he too is from the kingdom and was likely brought here by Liam. When Shinji grabs his collar, Leon calmly says, "That makes me your king as well." Shocked but unconvinced, Shinji angrily tells him to stop the lies and warns he'll throw him in jail if they meet again. As he storms off, Jo Young wants to follow, but Leon stops him, certain Shinji was taken here as a child by Liam for a reason. Later, Shinji meets Tall and tells her he saw Yunsup, but it wasn't the same person they knew. Realizing he's discovered Jo Young's secret, Tall admits she knows and believes what Leon has said. Shinji, overwhelmed, leaves in frustration. His past is then revealed. His family was drowning in debt, and after his father abandoned them, his mother tried to end both their lives. Liam appeared, offering Shinji a better future if his mother worked for him. That's how Shinji was brought to the Republic of Korea. Meanwhile, Leon notices time freezing again, each time lasting longer, first 10 seconds, then 20, 30, and now 40. Tall begins connecting her murder cases, realizing both the killer and victim had 2G phones, the same kind Liam's people use. Soon after, the restaurant owner's 2G phone rings. Leon answers, recognizing Liam's voice on the other end. Liam also knows it's him. Leon warns him to hide well, knowing he's still in the Republic of Korea. Both quickly destroy their phones. That night, Leon and Tall have dinner together. When shown a photo of a victim, Leon is stunned. His lookalike works in the royal stables back in his world. The victim's old phone even had a recording from the Kingdom of Korea, proving Liam has spies inside the palace. Realizing no one is safe, Leon decides to return home, but plans to take Yun-sup disguised as Jo Young. Jo Young will stay behind, since Liam is still in this world. Tall is worried, but Leon reassures her with a hug, promising to set things right. Soon after, Yun-sup changes his look to match Jo Young and travels with Leon to the kingdom, along with the captured restaurant owner, who is sentenced to life in prison for treason. At the palace, Yun-sup freely wanders around and stumbles into Leon's room. Finding a face care device, he plays with it like Iron Man until Leon scolds him for touching the king's belongings. Yun then uses Jo Young's phone, which unlocks with facial recognition, and Leon asks him to try the same on Jo Young's laptop. It works, and Leon checks the file's CCTV footage Tall had gathered for him. Watching it, Leon begins to miss her deeply, while Tall also longs for him. She recalls how, before he left, he visited her one last time. Tall had told him she planted the flower seeds from the kingdom, both at home and inside the portal, but they hadn't sprouted. Leon explained they couldn't grow inside the portal since there's no air, water, or sunlight there. Tall then asked if he had ever reached the end of the portal. Leon replied he tried, but it's endless, with only 2 exits, one to each world. He warned that staying there too long is dangerous, since a single day inside equals 2 months in the real world. Hearing this, Tall wondered aloud if living inside the portal would mean she could remain the same age forever. Tall teases Leon that she'll grow older while he always stays young, but Leon promises that no matter how long he spends in the portal, he'll always return to her. When he asks if she'll come with him to his world, Tall refuses, saying her family, friends, and duty keep her here. Before parting, Leon kisses her goodbye, and both are left missing each other deeply. Later, Leon watches a video of Tall walking past the bookstore, but is startled when the mysterious child on screen stares straight at the camera. Stranger still, the video date shows 2022, even though the current year is 2019. Confused, Leon rewinds, noticing Tall's dress doesn't match either. Suddenly, lightning flashes and pain strikes his shoulder. 3 days later, on New Year's Eve, Leon thinks of Tall as snow begins to fall. Time freezes again, and he realizes Liam has entered the Kingdom of Korea. Leon sets out to find him, and soon the two finally come face to face in the crowd. Back in the Republic of Korea, Leon briefly visits Tall before the new year, making her emotional with his sudden return. After a short meeting, he goes back to his world and investigates Liam's movements. Reviewing old footage, Leon realizes Liam's body hasn't aged, proof that time in the portal kept him unchanged. Liam's pursuit of the magical flute was to gain immortality. On New Year's Day, after delivering his royal speech, Leon heads to the police station with Yun-sup, where he learns Luna has terminal cancer and has been released. Meanwhile, Leon also discovers that the restaurant owner had actually died 25 years ago. This reveals a shocking truth: Liam's allies have been murdering their lookalikes in Tall's world, discarding the bodies in the kingdom, and stealing their lives in the Republic. Soon after, time freezes once more, and Leon knows Liam has crossed into his world. They confront each other, recalling their first phone call years ago. Leon orders his guards to arrest Liam, but Liam's army appears, taking civilians hostage. Amid the chaos, a gunshot is fired at Leon, but Yun jumps in to shield him, getting hit instead. Leon stops his guards from firing back to prevent more bloodshed, allowing Liam's men to escape. Leon then orders all wounded to be treated and any footage erased. The Prime Minister learns of the incident, while Liam's name spreads across the nation, sparking rumors and unrest. Thankfully, Yun survives his injury, but Leon scolds him for risking his life. Yun simply says he promised Jo Young he would protect the king, since Jo Young is also caring for his family. Leon thanks the court lady for everything she's done since his childhood, even hiding a piece of the magical flute inside a walking stick. He tells her the war with Liam is unavoidable now. At a press conference, he publicly repeats the old story. Liam was declared dead 25 years ago, but his allies covered up the truth. Leon promises the traitor's collaborators will be caught. Soon after, Prince Po Yang reveals the autopsy truth. The body found years ago was not actually Liam's, it had been crippled since birth. Yet its prints matched Liam's. That proves Liam is alive. Not long after, Liam murders Prince Po Yang to weaken Leon before the coming conflict. The palace caretaker, who loved and protected Leon like family, falls ill from the shock. In the Republic of Korea, Tall visits Jo Young and finds many voice messages Leon left for her. She reads them and is overjoyed, but Jo Young asks the hard question. If Liam is captured, will she go live in the kingdom of Korea and become the king's queen? Tall cannot answer. The question haunts her as she thinks about duty, family, and where she truly belongs. Leon, grieving Prince Po Yang's death, comes to see Tall and brings her flowers. He tells her he has urgent duties and must go, then kisses her goodbye and leaves suddenly, which breaks Tall's heart. Meanwhile, Luna is badly hurt in a crash while fleeing the police. Liam's men capture her and blindfold her. Liam offers her a brutal deal: impersonate Tall in the other world in exchange for money, a new life, and medical treatment. Desperate and convinced by the idea she might have a twin, Luna agrees. Back in the kingdom, memorials for Prince Po Yang continue. Leon learns the son of the prince is causing trouble, but Leon orders him sent away after the funeral. He makes clear the throne will pass to the daughter, not the son. Then Leon sees the autopsy. Po Yang was strangled and his guards were killed with swords. This proves Liam's hand. Leon vows he will not rest until Liam is dead. As the crisis deepens, time freezes again. Liam has crossed worlds. Shinji, tailing one of Liam's men, corners him. The man hands Shinji a burner phone and warns that a call will come. The hunt is speeding up and danger is closing in from both worlds. Shinji is nearly run over by a car, but manages to dodge at the last second, though he ends up badly hurt. Tall takes him to the hospital where he reveals everything he knows. Later, Tall spots a woman who looks like the Prime Minister and grows suspicious. She checks the woman's ID but can't confirm anything, so she follows her before being called away by her father. Meanwhile, Luna has crossed into the Republic of Korea after her deal with Liam. She shadows Tall for days, studying her habits until she can perfectly copy her looks. Soon, she disguises herself as Tall and takes her place. The real Tall collapses after drinking from a spiked water bottle at her club. At the same time in the kingdom, Leon is troubled by the strange pauses in time, each lasting longer than before. He realizes that on the 602nd opening of the portal, time will freeze for an entire day, and eventually, the world itself may stop forever. His vice captain gives him photos of Liam's old bookstore, and Leon storms the place with his guards. In the battle, the bookstore owner is killed, but Leon discovers he wasn't the real one, just another doppelganger planted by Liam. Tall wakes up tied inside a warehouse, guarded by armed men. She's shocked when she sees the mysterious child again, the same one she once met near the bookstore. The child frees her, claiming to protect good people and punish the wicked. He hints that he exists in both worlds to keep balance, but before he can explain more, the thugs return. Tall fights them off, protecting the child, but when she looks back, the boy has vanished. She escapes in a stolen car, heading toward the royal court, though she doesn't understand how she even ended up in the kingdom. Liam, realizing she's escaped, sends his men after her, ordering them to bring her back dead or alive. Tall's car runs out of fuel just a few kilometers from the palace. Exhausted, she runs until she finds a phone booth and manages to call the royal court for help. But before she can say much, a truck crashes into the booth. Wounded, she stabs the driver who comes after her, but soon a group of Liam's men surround her. With only 3 bullets left, she prepares to fight. Just then, Leon arrives with a helicopter, his army, and the royal guards. Declaring Tal as their future queen, he draws his sword and cuts through Liam's men one by one. Reaching her side, he embraces the fainting Tal and takes her back to the palace. Seeing Tal injured, the court lady grows worried, but Leon comforts her and stays by Tal's side all night. When Tal finally wakes, she admits she thought the door to her world had closed, keeping him away. Leon reassures her that no matter how many doors close, he'll open every one to find her. He tells her this is now her room too and gently kisses her forehead. The next morning, pictures of Leon rescuing Tal spread everywhere, sparking rumors: who is this girl, and is she truly the future queen? Meanwhile, in the Republic of Korea, Luna has fully stepped into Tal's life. With her phone and ID, she fools everyone around her, even requesting time off from work. Shinji notices her sudden leave and begins to suspect something strange. The next day, Leon takes care of Tal with extra warmth. He even cooks for her, and they enjoy the meal together. Later, he brings her several dresses, and when she picks one, he smiles, saying he already knew it would be her choice. Tal then notices the special outfit Leon wore when he brought her flowers. Leon explains that he saves it for meaningful occasions, like the day he first confessed his feelings for her. When Tal tries on the dress, she finds a necklace hidden in its pocket, but chooses not to wear it. She tells Leon she'll save it for a moment when she feels healed from her scars. Leon then takes Tal to visit Yun at the hospital. Yun, expecting only Leon, inspects the room like he always used to, just as Jo Young did. But when Tal calls out his name, Yun is overcome with emotion and hugs her tightly. They share a heartfelt reunion, and Yun asks about his siblings. Tal reassures him that both are well, though his sister grew suspicious of Jo Young. When Tal teases that Nari missed him dearly, Yun blushes but secretly feels happy. Afterward, Leon brings Tal to the warehouse where she had been held captive. He orders the guards to search thoroughly and asks her if she noticed an umbrella in Liam's hand, since he likely hid his half of the flute inside it. Tal hadn't seen one, but realizes Liam may have planned to trade her for Leon's half. Leon vows never to let Liam succeed, believing that his cruelty means heaven will never be on his side. Back at the palace, Leon checks on Tal as she takes her medicine. She tells him to rest, but he insists this is his room and he'll stay. When she protests, he jokes that the bed is big enough for both, earning a playful smack on his shoulder. Just then, lightning flashes and Leon doubles over in pain, his scar burning again. Tal worries, realizing everyone taken between worlds carried similar marks that reacted during storms. Leon wonders aloud if these are side effects of traveling through the portal. Concerned, he asks Tal if she feels anything. She shyly unbuttons her shirt to show her shoulders, asking him to check. Embarrassed, Leon glances quickly and says there's nothing, which makes Tal laugh at his dramatic reaction. In that tender moment, Leon kisses her, and romance begins to blossom between them. Meanwhile, Liam is in the Republic of Korea, keeping a woman who looks exactly like Leon's mother imprisoned. She tries to escape by hitting him with a vase and stealing his umbrella, but Liam quickly catches her. He spares her life only because she resembles his nephew's mother, hinting at a deeper plan yet to be revealed. Back in the kingdom, Leon learns that the trader from the stables also suffers the same painful marks during thunderstorms. Soon after, Leon's assistant informs him that the Prime Minister has come unannounced. When Leon meets her, she bluntly asks if the rumors about his queen are true. Leon boldly confirms it, declaring the girl in the photo is the woman he loves and the future queen. Enraged, the Prime Minister tries to intimidate him. But when lightning strikes, Leon notices the same mark on her neck, proving she too had crossed into another world. At the same time, Tal learns from the royal housekeeper that she herself was originally from the Republic of Korea, brought to the kingdom by Leon's grandfather. The Prime Minister then accuses Leon of choosing a thief as queen and warns of the public's reaction if the truth spreads. Realizing she is trying to blackmail him, Leon firmly warns her not to cross the line. During a thunderstorm, lightning leaves a scar on the Prime Minister's neck, confirming to Leon that she too had crossed into the other world. She quickly excuses herself, calling it an illness. Later, Tal asks Leon why both he and the Prime Minister carry marks while she doesn't, even though she has also traveled between worlds. Leon admits he is still trying to figure that out. At the hospital, Leon discovers that Liam's soldiers also bear these marks during lightning and rain, but only when their lookalikes in the other world have died. He realizes this is why both he and Liam are affected. The next day, Leon's secretary asks if he wants to announce his relationship with Tal, but Leon says not yet since he hasn't received her answer. Meanwhile, Shin's mother, who had been forced by Liam to poison Leon, survives after drinking the poison herself instead. She confesses to Leon that she did it to protect her son, Shinji. Leon then explains to Tal that opening the portal is causing time to stop for short periods, and if it keeps happening, the effect will last longer. He believes it's because the flute is split in two, and that reuniting the pieces could fix everything. Tal warns that this means either taking Liam's half or risking him stealing Leon's. Leon even suggests going back 25 years to stop Liam from taking the flute, which shocks Tal, though Leon insists it might be possible. Later, Leon takes Tal and Yun-sup back to the Republic of Korea. Tal hugs her dad, who is surprised since she had just left home that morning. Confused, she realizes something strange is happening. At the same time, Shinji encounters Luna Tal's double who kisses him and then runs away. When he later meets the real Tal, he realizes there are two of them. Tal confirms that Luna has her stolen phone and ID. Meanwhile, Leon secretly exposes the Prime Minister's corruption to the media, ending her career. Tal cancels her leave and heads home, where her dad welcomes Leon as her boyfriend. After dinner, she gives Leon some clothes, including a black jacket that feels oddly familiar. When Tal steps out, Luna shows up pretending to be her, carrying drinks. Leon grows suspicious, notices her stolen ID, and identifies her as Luna. Looking into the mirror, Leon suddenly remembers the masked man who saved him 25 years ago was none other than himself. At the same time, Liam also recalls the same memory, realizing that mysterious figure had known secrets only the king could know. Leon suddenly feels sharp pain. Luna had poisoned his drink. He collapses as she searches for her stolen ID, but before she can find it, the door opens. Luna quickly hides while Jo Young enters and rushes to Leon's side. Using the distraction, Luna escapes. Leon, weak but conscious, tells Jo Young to take the flute from his coat pocket. Jo Young immediately calls Tal, who is at Liam's center outside Seoul, and she instructs him to take Leon to her friend's hospital since Leon has no ID for this world. There, Leon is treated and soon recovers, though Tal anxiously waits outside. Jo Young, unsure if she is the real Tal or Luna, refuses to let her in. Heartbroken, Tal realizes Luna is impersonating her and warns Yup over the phone to be cautious. The next morning, Liam visits the bamboo forest, curious about how Leon managed to travel to the past. Meanwhile, Leon wakes and asks for Tal, but when told she isn't there, he reveals something shocking: the masked man who saved him 25 years ago was actually himself. Realizing the date, Leon remembers it's the night Liam betrayed his father in 1994. Determined to stop history from repeating, Leon rushes to the forest, asking Jo Young to protect Tal in his absence. At the same moment, both Leon and Liam open the portal from their parallel worlds. Though they can't see each other, the power of their flute fragments pulls them closer until the pieces merge. A child's voice explains that when the flute unites inside the portal, it carries its owner to the time and place they wish to change. Both are transported to the fateful night of 1994. There, Liam of the past prepares to kill the king when his future self suddenly appears. The present Liam warns him, "Kill the prince too, or he will one day grow strong enough to stop you." But the arrogant 1994 Liam mocks him, refusing to take orders. Spotting the flute hidden in his future self's umbrella, He realizes the truth and seizes the chance, slashing his future self's throat to steal the fragment. Yet the flute vanishes the moment he touches it, because its true owner has died. Furious, the 1994 Liam unleashes his rage, leading his soldiers to attack the king. Meanwhile, in the Republic of Korea, the mysterious child tells Leon's mother's lookalike that the traitor failed to save himself. When she asks who he is, the child replies, "I exist everywhere. I protect the good and strike fear into the wicked." She then asks if the king will return safely. The child answers that Leon will follow his destiny, but warns that if the flute breaks again, its power will once more be divided until it is made whole. At that very moment, the king faces Liam's deadly attack. Liam orders the prince killed after the king, but just then Leon arrives, firing at his men. Young Leon breaks the flute into 2 pieces, and once again Liam escapes with half. After killing Liam's soldiers, Leon checks on his younger self, who still holds the other half of the flute. When Leon reaches out, Tall's ID card slips from the boy's pocket into his hand. After closing his father's eyes, Leon goes after Liam, following a blood trail that leads to Prince Pang's son. Realizing he is helping Liam, Leon shoots him in the leg and rushes to the bamboo forest. But instead of finding Liam, he accidentally enters 1994's Republic of Korea and discovers Liam has already gone there. Returning to the kingdom, Leon sees his younger self performing the king's memorial, while Liam kills his own lookalike and dumps the body in Korea. Leon then understands until both halves of the flute meet inside the portal, he cannot return to the present. To reach his own time, he must spend years inside the portal. Thinking of Tall, Leon visits her house in 1994 when she was only 8. Her mother had passed away, and Leon helps her pick up a black belt that had fallen while drying. He gently tells her, "I'm from the future, stuck here for 26 years. Wait for me, I'll come back." Little Tall accuses him of being a kidnapper, and Leon laughs, saying she was always stubborn, which is why she became a police officer. Before leaving, he introduces himself as her friend to her caretaker. In the present, Tall suddenly recalls these childhood memories of Leon telling her to wait, realizing he truly might be trapped in the past. Overwhelmed, she longs for him deeply, even visiting the bamboo forest in hopes of seeing him again. Later, Tall remembers another meeting in 2016 when she and her friends celebrated getting into the police academy. That day, Leon had called from a phone booth nearby, watching her from a distance. When Tall confronted him, she teased him as the kidnapper in the same clothes, but Leon only smiled, saying she once gave him his jacket. He told her, "This is destiny. Next time we'll meet in Seoul, I'll be in a jacket with many buttons, and my horse Maximus will be with me. Wait for me." Present day, Tall recalls this with tears, finally realizing Leon had always been coming back for her. After spending years within the portal, Leon eventually reaches 2019. At the same time, Jo Young's memories start connecting. Leon appears during a competition in the Kingdom of Korea, where he meets Jo Young and borrows his access card. Leaving behind a rabbit hoodie and slipping the card into his pocket, Leon tells him, "Soon I'll come to you again, from a parallel world called the Republic of Korea, where Lieutenant Jang Tall lives and where your other self exists too." Leon tells Jo Young not to ask too many questions and to trust Tall. When Jo Young asks if he has met her, Leon replies he will see her soon and leaves. After this, the events from episode 1 repeat. Luna puts on the rabbit hoodie, runs off, and finds the access card in her pocket, using it to escape from thugs. In the present, Jo Young spots Luna and immediately calls Tall. Luna is with Tall's father while shopping and later walks home with him. Watching from a distance, Tall grows furious at Luna taking her place. Noticing her, Luna sends Tall's father and Nari home, then leads Tall into a dark alley. There she reminds Tall that she had warned her before if they met, she would kill her. Luna stabs Tall in the stomach and escapes. At that moment, new memories surface in Tall's mind. She remembers when Leon first arrived in Seoul with Maximus. Unlike before, she instantly recognized him and asked if it was their destiny. Back in the present, a couple finds Tall injured and rushes her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Shinji meets Liam, who threatens him kill Leon, or he will kill both their mothers from the two worlds. Liam then visits Nori's crystal shop, but Yun-Sup steps in to protect her. Mistaking Luna for Tall, Yun-Sup shares everything with her. Shinji arrives and recognizes Luna just as Tall also shows up, having left the hospital. Furious, Tall slaps Luna, and together they capture her. But Tall's wound worsens, forcing her back to the hospital. Soon after, Leon finally returns to the present. He rushes to the hospital and reunites with Tall. Both are overwhelmed with emotions. Leon asks her to rest, but Tall grips his hand, fearing he will leave once she falls asleep. To reassure her, Leon lies beside her. She asks what happened after their 2019 meeting. Leon explains that this time she trusted him earlier, so they spent more time together, learned about the parallel worlds sooner, and avoided many tragedies from before. Talking like this, Tall drifts off to sleep. Leon then seeks help from Jo Young and Shinji, but Shinji stays silent. Jo Young and Leon later meet Jae-hun's mother. Jo Young reveals that Liam is using her and will appear on Leon's mother's death anniversary. When she arrives, she recognizes Leon and calls him her nephew, saying her son Jun died unfairly because of him. She warns Leon that Liam plans something dangerous and tells him to come 2 days before the anniversary if he wants to stop it. Over the next days, Leon stays close to Tall, and they share happy moments together. But when the time comes, he must leave to face Liam. Tall tries to stop him, but Leon insists too many lives have been lost because of him, and only he can end this. Tearfully, Tall makes him promise that even if the doors close, he will open all the doors of the universe to return to her. Leon promises, and they part with a heartbreaking hug. Leon and Jo Young return to the Kingdom of Korea. Since opening the portal freezes time, Liam realizes Leon has returned. Leon first reunites with his nanny and even brings Shinji to meet his real mother. Overcome with pain and anger, Shinji cannot forgive her yet and walks away. Meanwhile, Liam arrives with Jae-hun's mother. On Leon's mother's death anniversary, Jae-hun's mother consumes poison. Liam's doctor tries to delay the poison with an injection, but time freezes again due to the portal, and she dies. Enraged, Liam takes a gun and heads toward the palace. His target is Leon. Leon tracks Liam through CCTV and confronts him. Liam aims a gun, but time freezes, saving Leon. As time resumes, Jo Young shoots Liam in the leg while Shinji captures him and takes the flute. Leon then heads to the bamboo forest, but realizes only Liam's blood can open the portal. When Liam touches the flute, the door unlocks. Leon takes both halves and enters, but he cannot reach the night of betrayal in 1994, unless Liam is inside too. Jo Young and Shinji agree to take Liam in, though it's left unclear who actually goes. 2 days later, Leon attends his mother's death anniversary and names Prince Pang's granddaughter, Si-jin, as the next heir. But Liam arranges her accident, leaving the throne without a successor. Knowing he must change the past, Leon prepares to return through the portal. Meanwhile, Tall learns Shinji has the other half of the flute. She begs him to give it to her, saying if Leon succeeds in changing history, everyone including her will forget him. Shinji confesses he's loved her since high school, but Tall tells him her heart belongs to Leon, even if she loses him forever. Heartbroken, Shinji hands her the flute. Leon and Tall both prepare. He puts on his royal armor, and she wears the necklace he gave her. At the bamboo forest, Leon enters the portal with Jo Young, while from the other side, Tall drags Liam inside at gunpoint. They arrive in 1994, the night of betrayal. Young Leon is saved, but during the chaos Liam gets hold of the entire flute, making the older flute pieces vanish. Liam mocks Tall, saying Leon will now be trapped in the past. Tall tries to shoot him, but time freezes inside the portal. Meanwhile, Jo Young shields young Leon, but is gravely injured. Liam races to the bamboo forest, where the flute's full power opens doors to countless universes. Leon intercepts him, and they fight. At the same time, Tal manages to kill Liam in the present, while Leon defeats him in 1994. With Liam gone, peace is restored. It is then revealed that the flute itself always had a human form, a mysterious child who guided events to keep its power safe. The child warns Leon that while the portal won't close, finding Tal's exact world will be difficult. Still, their memories of each other will remain. In the aftermath, new lives begin. Shinji stays in the kingdom of Korea after Prince Bong saves him and his mother. Luna, once a thief, is adopted by the kind prime minister's mother, gaining a family. In Korea, Tal wakes in the hospital to find days have passed. Realizing Leon never came to her world, she breaks down in tears but clings to his promise to return. Leon begins wandering through countless universes with the flute, searching for the real Tal. In every world, he finds a version of her, a soldier, a doctor, a singer, but none are his. Finally, after endless searching, he reaches her world. Seeing him, Tal bursts into tears and embraces him. Leon explains what happened that night, and at last, they are reunited. By 2021, they are together again. In 2022, Jo Young is happily with his twin siblings, while Luna and Shinji from this world become police officers. The Prime Minister falls due to corruption. Leon and Tal, now holding the complete flute, begin exploring different worlds and timelines, sometimes traveling to the future, sometimes back to the past. In one trip to 1994, Leon even saves young Shinji from an accident, changing his future. As time passes, friends find happiness. Yup marries Nari, Jo Young and Sunny fall in love, and Leon and Tal continue their journey together. With this, the drama closes with love, sacrifice, and a hopeful new beginning.